this is what will be included in the kit. You have 2 steel brackets that bolt to the LS engine. Those are the ones with the Hammer Fab logo. And 8 metric fasteners to attach those. Fasteners are countersunk. And then the engine mounts will bolt to those. And those will fit the steel brackets that will get welded permanently onto the Buick chassis. The kit also comes with these convenient 3D printed templates that allow you to easily know exactly where to cut your existing pads on your chassis. So these are going to bolt on and locate with these holes over the top of the original engine mount pads on your 59 and 60 Buick chassis. All you have to do is slip them over the top, put a couple of bolts in there to align them, and then scribe along the bottom edge, and that will tell you exactly where to cut so that this plate will fit perfectly and this plate will fit perfectly. These plates are different. They're slightly different. The passenger side is a little bit bigger than the driver's side. And these bushings are a little bit undersized in case you decide to powder coat everything. We didn't want to make them so tight that you had to force it in. So that's been a pain point of ours in the past, and we don't want it to be one for you. So anyways, I left this one loose for now so you can see. These are energy suspension mounts. And so you can see how there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but the idea is that once that's on there, you tighten it enough so that it compresses those tabs down and becomes a tight fit. The brackets are laser cut out of 3/8 thick steel. They come pre-tapped for the engine mounts. It will come with all grade 8 hardware except for the engine ones. Those ones, the LS ones, the metric fasteners will be stainless steel. All of the other fasteners are grade 8. If you plan on doing a 4L80E transmission, we also have a cross-member kit for that available. It also comes with easy-to-use templates that make it so there's no way you can get it wrong when drilling the holes in your chassis. Check out our website for those. Next, we're going to show you how to position these templates, scribe, and cut the old part off so that you can get it right. Okay, for the next part of this process for installing your LS engine mounts on your 59 and 60 Buick, you're going to take the supplied 3D printed patterns. These are designed off of a 3D scan of this exact engine mount in our 59 Buick LeSabre convertible. First, you're going to take this pattern and you're just going to set it literally right on top of the old one, and it'll kind of move back and it'll kind of nestle there. You can feel it kind of plug in. And just to make sure, we're going to put a couple of 1/2-inch bolts, which you may have to come up with, through those so that it can't move. The edge should be perfectly flush here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a scribe like this here, and we're going to scribe the back edge real snug against the template, and that's going to show us where we need to cut. Make sure you hold the pattern down tight. Then you do the front edge. And then the bottom edge. Now we couldn't really do the pattern all the way across here, so you need to kind of use a little bit of judgment here and project this line all the way across, basically. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut that and make it straight. When we cut it, we'll grind it, we'll test fit the new piece. But you can see it has a real easy to see scribe line right there. There you can see the scribe line on the top, faintly. So we're going to cut this top above the scribe off and weld on our new plate. Now let's look at the other side here. Here's a closer look at the pattern. It's 3D printed. This is just PLA. Just goes right over the top, fits real snug. Put your 1/2-inch bolt in there, and put another one in there if you want, just to kind of hold it in place. And then do your scribing around the edges. All right, once you get done scribing, you just take it off, and if you no longer need that, you can throw these away, or if you want to send them back to us, you can do that too. All right, let's start cutting. All right, I prefer to use an angle cutoff wheel like this. This is a 4-inch disc, or at least it started as a 4-inch. And it is a 1/32 thickness. You want to get as thin as you can. And you know, there's more powerful ones than this. I kind of like these little cheapo ones because they're lightweight and they're easy to control. So we're going to use that to cut along the top, and along the back, and along the bottom. Here we go. With this big of a disc, you just want to make sure that you're not accidentally hitting the control arm or these nuts. All right, the top one is completely free. Let's go ahead and do the bottom one. All right, we got one last cut to do right here. All right, that's what your part should look like when it comes off. You can see we cut right below that hole, and if you were to look at that, tilt that, it should be dead flat all the way across. That's good. All right, now I'm going to go grab the passenger side mount and we'll mock it up. Okay, here's the passenger side mount that you're going to receive in the kit. It's 1/4-inch thick plate here, which is really beefy. Let's see how it fits. It sits on there really nice. I mean, it's a little wiggly. All we got to do is just kind of glance over that surface with a flat grinder to get this to sit perfectly, and TIG weld it around the edges. And then we'll probably include a gusset for underneath here in the kit to help kind of fortify this, but it's pretty dang beefy, but a gusset probably wouldn't hurt. So now you want to prep the edges for TIG welding. This one's kind of greasy and rusty. We're just going to do that real quick with this. All right, we're just going to hit it flat real quick with our 3-inch backer pad. This is our standard flex backer. If you guys want to get those, you can get them at hammerfab.com. You take a roll-lock disc, you twist on there really easy. Got a 3D printed stainless center. All right, let's test it. Basically, shouldn't have to grind it much. We're just trying to get it to sit level There's a little bit of a hump right there in the middle. Now there's a little bit of a hump right there. There we go. Now we're going to tack weld it in place. First, I'm going to prep this underside here while I can get to it. I'm just going to grind this area here down to bare metal so that I can easily add a gusset. Try not to gouge it up too much. We're going to powder coat this chassis, so we don't want a bunch of gouges. So you keep your disc flat and keep it moving quickly to prevent that. All right, let's get the welder. Okay, so you may be wondering, hey, why don't you make all this stuff easier to bolt on? Why can't you make it bolt on for us guys that don't know how to weld? Well, that's a good question. If at all possible, we try and make things as easy for the end user to install, like bolting it on if possible, but sometimes it just doesn't lend itself to that, which in this case is exactly the case. I would have liked to have been able to just bolt on an adapter engine pad, but the constraints were so tight with the LS engine and getting it, there's a lot of things going on here that's really tight. So the steering drag link is an issue on these cars, and it's not real easy to update it and convert it to a rack and pinion. And honestly, it's got a good gearbox in it. It's a Saginaw gearbox. If you can live with that and figure out how to make it work, well then there's no sense in re-engineering the wheels. So the steering was a main factor in this, and that plays into oil pan clearance, which is why our kit comes with an oil pan. You're required to buy this oil pan with our kit because that's the only oil pan that will work with this swap. So in this case, you have to break out the welder and weld these pads on, but we've tried to make it as easy as possible for that, because I know that's kind of scary, cutting up your rare car. 59 Buick is kind of rare and you don't want to mess it up. Well, we understand, and that's why we 3D scanned it and we designed templates that are easy to place. You can't get it wrong. You scribe it, you can't get it wrong, and you know, you cut that and fit that, and it's going to be basically as close as possible. And we've also left a little bit of wiggle room on the mounts, so these are a little bit smaller so they can easily fit over. And the engine mounts themselves have slotted holes on them, so you can get it off slightly and still be okay. So as long as you just follow the steps here, you know, you may have to have your buddy come over, buy him a 6-pack or whatever, get him to weld these on, but we felt like this is the best solution to making a quality install. We don't want to sell junk. All right, we are going to TIG weld this on for a couple of reasons. It's clean, it's quiet, doesn't throw sparks, don't got to worry about burning up the shop or the carpet that's under us, or fuel or greasy spots really. I mean, it does get hot. The other reason is it gets quite a bit hotter than MIG, and it'll dig more. You'll get more penetration, or you have the option of you can control the penetration a little bit better than you can with a MIG. So here we go. We're first just going to set the part up there, get it positioned by hand, and we're going to fusion tack it. I've got the welder set to about 168 amps, which is plenty hot. You want to make sure that the top is parallel. If you don't get this angle right, the engine will not fit, okay? So you got to make sure that that top panel is parallel. Top edge is parallel. All right. Now we're gonna floor it and get a fusion tack. All right, the second one doesn't want a fusion tack, so I gotta get some fill rod involved. I'm using some 1/16 ER70 S-6. There we go, we got that established. Now you just wanna make sure that it doesn't pull up on you. So that's why I was pushing down on it while it was still hot. It's still cool down here, so you can touch it down here. We're gonna get a couple more tacks on here. Okay, now if you don't fully trust our process, I understand. There's a chance that it could be off a little bit, but I feel pretty confident in it. We're gonna weld this sucker on there, but if you feel like you need to test fit the engine, or if you have a mock-up block that you can set in here with the oil pan and everything, feel free to do that first. You won't hurt my feelings, okay? It's actually not a bad idea. We've been doing this a long time, but we still are human, and there's a chance that things aren't quite right. Like, I'm talking like if you need to adjust this a little bit while it's tacked, it's a lot easier to cut those tack welds off than it is to cut a whole weld off. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna send it, weld that sucker on there solid, and hope for the best. If I have to cut it off, I have to cut it off, but I think we're gonna be okay. It's on there for good now. All right, I dipped my tungsten a little bit, so I gotta go sharpen it. But basically what you wanna do, finish welding that up, repeat that process on the driver's side one, you're good to go.